And hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Downtown Jason Brown here with a hopefully a edition of Smashmouth that will actually go out and comment and this thing doesn't get corrupted like the original one did.
That was upsetting.
Yeah, it was. But hey, it happens.
But
anyways, I am Downtown Jason Brown. Like I said, we have Nari Chari over there in the corner. We have Hitkid Worldwide, and of course, our door is always open for any guest to walk in and chime in if they have anything they want to say.
And this time we're all face to face here.
Yep, we are actually all in together.
Face to face this time.
Yep. So that means I get to smack you.
What?
He's joking. Calm down.
But anyways, we are on Earth 1610 because of the outbreak in our world and everything like that. Just to remind everyone, stay safe, stay clean,
stay healthy.
Try to avoid big, crowded areas and stuff like that, and please do not buy up all the toilet paper, you shitheads.
Panic buying is no good for anybody.
But anyways, we are about to recap the first round of the CCL March Madness for both men and women. And we're going to start things off with... since we are going to start off with the men's, and we're going to start off with Old School. As we saw Extreme Tony take on Nathan House, and Nathan House is moving on to the next round.
What a way to make your return, eh?
I mean that is a great way to return. I mean, Nathan House, who's been away from the game for 5 years. I mean, he didn't look like he lost his step.
Coming back to beat Extreme Tony that.
Yeah, and Tony wasn't
too.
Tony wasn't an easy guy. He wasn't an easy guy to beat. I mean, I've stated this multiple times recently. Tony looks like he's in the best shape of his life. I mean, Tony looks like the best shape in his career. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's slimmed down. He's got some muscle in there here and there. I mean, recently, not too long ago, we saw him challenge for the DCA World Title. Came up short there, but Tony's still Tony. And the fact that Nathan House, who was away for 5 years, came back and was able to defeat Extreme Tony, that was very astonishing. But at the same time, it's Nathan House.
True, and like I said, those two. Once for the first time, those two.
I know that was what you call old school CCL right there.
Yeah,
exactly.
For longtime fans of CCL, I bet a lot of people got that nostalgic feel when they saw Extreme Tony and Nathan House doing battle.
Exactly.
The next matchup, this one has a lot of shit fuckery in it. TGO versus Aaron Alexander.
May I go?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hey, great one. How does that fucking leech insignificance of a son you have just cost you your spot in March Madness?
And that is correct. TGO, he technically
he won the match.
Won the match. However, Hollister Cross got involved. And,
broke up a pin.
And Meredith Clark was not having any of the Ministry of Greatness bullshit. What?
Can I correct you? Meredith Cortez, my dude.
Oh, wait. Meredith Cortez, please don't kill me. But she came out and she was not having any of the Ministry of Greatness bullshit. So, there was, so pretty much TGO out of there. So, you know what that means? You know what that means in the next round? Aaron Alexander versus Nathan House.
A lot of history. Early season.
And bad blood, too, at the same time.
But we'll get to calling winners of that bit later on. Let's keep on going through the first round.
Okay, now we have Armageddon taking on Matt Phoenix. Again, this is old school CCL at its finest right here. I mean, we talk about Aaron Alexander being, the heart of CCL, back in the day. But I think one man who embodies CCL, even though he's known for being one half of the greatest tag team, in CCL history. You can't take away the fact that Matt Phoenix, one of the best there has been in CCL. I mean, a former world champion.
Well, he held the national title as well.
Yeah,
he did.
Matt
did. He's done.
If Aaron's the heart, definitely Matt is the soul of CCL.
True.
But then you had, who his opponent was, the very dangerous Armageddon.
Man who has not been CCL for more than years.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back and still, like he never left.
I mean, it's like he never left. Like he hasn't lost a step. But here's the thing. Just like in the previous match, this matchup had some controversy to it.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. What the?
Okay, here's what happened. Because I was there on the night. Lights went out. We heard some random sounds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lights came back on. Armageddon then a bit distracted because of it. Because Armageddon had Phoenix up, to finish him.
Yeah.
But because of that, Armageddon distracted. Can't be distracted against someone of Matt Phoenix's quality.
Yep.
Phoenix takes the win and moves on to round 2. But then after the match, a man who we saw Armageddon get into a face-to-face with, back at the Big 110, Leonidas Gonzalez showed up and proceeded to beat the shit out of Armageddon.
I mean, that's a rarity that we see someone dominate and actually nearly destroy Armageddon. Armageddon's usually the one on the other side doing the destroying.
Armageddon's usually the one that leaves.
But then again, he really hasn't met too many people like Leonidas. A guy who's bigger.
A legend.
I mean,
guy's a legend. He's a legend as well.
He's a legend, but he's also even bigger than Armageddon. Armageddon's a big boy. But Leonidas is like, ooh.
It's very where you see someone at the height they know Armageddon. Fucking where.
And now we go on to our next matchup. Mason Chronic taking on the Great D. Whew.
This match excited me.
It excited a lot of people, but in the end, it terrified everyone.
Because
Hitkid, would you like? No. Hitkid, would you like to explain how Mason Chronic defeated the Great D?
Well, you know Mason's saying, if they die, they die.
Exactly.
And Great D kind of died. Weapon X onto steel steps onto a count out win.
To a count out win. And now here's the question, the $1 million question. Great D has that one-on-one counter with Claudio coming up now. What will be Great D's condition? I mean, he got Weapon X onto some steel steps.
Well, it's probably got a concussion.
He was busted up within the beginning of the match, too.
Yeah, and he bled. So he probably has concussion. With concussions, we know that takes, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
So he has got time. Am I allowed to say? Because we are 2 to 3 weeks, away from Forsaken.
He's got
4 weeks away.
He's got time, but that is 3 or 4 weeks of where he has to recover. That means he can't really do a lot of training and stuff like that. So going into that match with Claudio, he's going to be at a disadvantage, recovering from the concussion and not having as much, training as Claudio, who Claudio, trains day in, day out. The man hardly sleeps, it seems like.
True, but at the same time, we're talking about Great D.
I mean,
but the thing is, where Great D may be physically compromised, you could say Claudio's has been mentally compromised.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
so
with what has happened in his life, with Carmen going.
Hey, well,
MIA. I wouldn't say AWOL, but I was going to say MIA. You know, I think that's a little bit more appropriate than saying
Gil has
AWOL.
not.
Okay, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Just trying to say what I think it is.
Trying to be truthful here.
Trying to be truthful here, Gnarly. You sound like a vindictive little bastard right now. I want to say.
What?
I mean, you're like, oh, just speaking the truth here. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
But plain and simple, it's going to be interesting. About Mason Chronic, Matt Phoenix next round. Some history there.
Ooh, history right there. History right there. But speaking of history, that's gonna bring us to our next bracket, which is the new school, where we have John Blackos and Jamal Bentlem starting us off in that category.
Yeah.
There's a knock on the door.
Come in.
Wait, what now?
Come in.
What now?
All right, yeah.
The fuck? Oh,
Hey, it's Malik Brown.
Hello, Malik.
Thank you. Hold on.
Yeah, kill it. Bring the stuff.
Ooh.
I bought sandwiches and drinks for everybody. Don't worry, we made sure it wasn't contaminated or anything.
Thank you.
Not just Malik, but Kill is here as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
nice to see you both. Take seats.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, you're just in time because we're about to talk about one of your new members of your faction, Jamal Bentlem's match.
Oh, yeah. Savage versus Fat Beach Thriller.
The Fat Beach Thriller.
Never bet against a Savage.
This makes them now 2-1, isn't it?
Yes, 2-1.
So it's safe to say, if this was a 3-match series, Jamal Bentlem has won the series.
Yeah.
And then again, when you think it's not fun.
I mean, there's always that possibility that Blackos and Jamal will fight again.
They will more than likely fight again in their careers. I mean, they're both in the prime of their virtual wrestling careers. I think there's no doubt.
Go on for freaking.
I think there's no doubt. I think we could all agree there's no doubt those two will fight again.
Oh, there's no doubt. Those two.
I think there's agreement.
And I have said this before. I think one of these days, the next time we see these two, one of these days, I believe a world title will be on the line. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time till one of them becomes a world champion.
Quite possibly, but yeah, there's Savage took it.
But
Jamal took
speaking of world champion, we have a match that has the former Call All Stars world champion, the man with the most defenses. Does he have the longest reign, or is that someone else?
Okay, it's both. It might be both.
Most defenses and longest title reign in the Call All Stars history of that title. Brandon Wolf taking on the big Rob Bowski. Yeah, Brandon Wolf successfully defending that title 18 times.
That's why he held that title for as long as he did.
He had a dream run, if you remember, guys.
That is
Exactly.
true.
Someone here who just came in the room was also one of the opponents on that run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Came across one time.
If I remember correctly, it was at DCA Redemption.
No,
You two met.
It was Proving Ground.
Oh, was it Proving Ground? My mistake.
Yeah, we did. I would say it was one of the most intense matches I ever had, but then again, I've always had intense matches.
Yeah, intense matches from a week. Is,
no matter what match, it's always safe to say Malik he goes over 100% in the matches.
And making sure someone's gonna have their job.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I do think was so intriguing about this, and I think everyone could agree.
Mm-hmm.
Big Rob, who went on the Cinderella run last year, went on a real bracket buster one and done this year. Remember, he got all the way to the finals last year.
That was true.
He did.
But the thing is, we all know Brandon Wolfie's on his swan song here in virtual wrestling.
I mean, we go from a Cinderella story to a man who is on the last few months of his virtual wrestling career. That being Brandon
So this
Wolf.
is his last ever chance to win March Madness.
Uh-huh.
He could go all the way. And Brandon and Jamal again. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Remember Holiday Havoc?
Yeah,
That was a match.
That was a
Get to
match.
that.
Now, speaking of matchups, we saw Big Rob. You know, he was unsuccessful, but his partner, Chris James, took on Nitro.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
I think Malik has something to say over this.
Malik, go ahead, Malik.
No, I got nothing to say. I'm just gonna smile and wave. Smile and wave.
Smile and wave.
That pisses them off more. Okay.
Actually, there is something I want to say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was right on the Ministry of Greatness being all one and done, wasn't I?
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I think Nitro's always been that guy who I've seen has great things coming to him. He's always been a talented athlete, but his biggest enemy is himself. Hey, look, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't have the biggest ego in the world. I do. But at the same time, I have never in my life let my ego get the better of me. My emotions, yes. My anger, yes. My ego, no. Picks a fight with most of everybody. He always complains that he should be in the top billing. He always complains that he should be in the top spot. Yet at the same time, you hide behind other people instead of proving it yourself. If you weren't hiding behind AJ Young, you're hiding behind TGO. If you're not hiding behind TGO, you were hiding behind the doctor's order. If you're not hiding behind the doctor's order, you're going to find somebody else you're going to hide behind. If you are who you say you are, then prove it.
I think Malik said it best. And now, go on to our next matchup as Mikey Truth took on Casey Gordon.
That was a match.
That was a match, and I want to say it, and as crazy as it is,
Yeah.
upset. Let me explain why I say upset. Casey, who has not been in the ring much, not since Revelation. So this was like one of his first matches back.
Uh-huh.
But with the role Mikey was on, going from breakthrough champion, to national champion, pinning the CCL World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
Like, Mikey was on a roll. And Casey just stopped it dead. That is why he was the destroyer.
Never against.
I mean, if this was 5 or 6 years ago, and you told me Casey Gordon was in a match, I'd laugh. If you told me Casey Gordon beat somebody, I'd be like, who he had in his corner. But now we've at that point where, yeah, Casey hasn't been in the ring as much. But that doesn't mean he's still not the dominating monster that he's always been. He's still the destroyer. And it was just one of those cases where the big guy came out on top.
I think it's also a case he reminded everyone who he is.
Yeah.
I'm Casey Gordon. I'm a destroyer.
Nice.
I'm a former CCL world champion. Remember.
Yeah, former DCA World Heavyweight Champion as well.
Yeah.
Could I just go back to... So, it's going to be Casey Gordon and Chris James, which is a very interesting match, in the second round. But could I just go back to a point Malik said before we go on to the next bracket. The thing about Nitro.
Yeah.
Go on.
And I really hope he heeds this in the future. Don't be a follower. And I think you guys can get where I'm leaning with that comment.
Don't be a follower. Be a leader. Be a leader of your own destiny.
Yes. And I hope he's listening in over that.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to Breakthrough.
Yep. Now this
Oh
one.
boy.
Oh, I know he's going to have a lot to say about this one.
Matt Farrell versus Adam Jackpot. Who wants to take it? Who wants to take it?
I still can't believe it. Oh man.
You know,
And for those who don't know, this match really, even though it involved Matt Farrell and Adam Jackpot, that is not the story of this match.
Yeah, that is not the story. And there's no one really better for this story than Malik, because I know for a fact, because I called the TPGW shows.
I know
the history between these two men, but if there's one person who knows it better than me, it's the man sitting across from us.
Malik?
I mean, what do you want me to say? I think it just, even I was kind of caught off guard by that. But then again, I was too busy worrying about another match that was happening and most of other things. But
Oh yeah.
Adam Jackpot showing how insane he is. Which,
Yeah.
Everyone's already saying before.
if you told me like 3 weeks ago Adam Jackpot was going to start wrestling and being in shows, I'd look at you like you were insane, because I'm like, no. But
then again, it's Adam.
he held his own until that moment.
And here's the thing about Adam. A lot of people underestimate him and everything, because he's the crazy guy that owns New Dawn, but Adam, he has been surprising people left and right since he's been on this run. Has not, apart from the Battle Royale, hasn't technically had a clean victory yet.
Not fault of his own.
No fault of his own, of course. I mean, it's not like, but so and knowing Adam though, because so much of a crazy bastard he is, he's gonna be like, I'll take it. Oh, win to win.
It's Adam.
It's Adam.
It's not only that. It's not only that. It's the win and go home atmosphere as well.
Yeah.
We're gonna take wins how you get them in this tournament.
That is true.
You can't think about
you
can't think about honorable ways of beating somebody. It's either win or lose.
Yeah, but the man that is the real story behind all this, VPOC.
Oh,
VPOC interfered in the match and cost Matt Farrell the match.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
My God, does this feel like fucking deja vu again?
It does.
These two men. The fucking hatred.
And it's so long to those two.
And I'm not on about. I'm not just on about hatred. When they're in the ring. There is real fucking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is shoot hatred.
I mean, look, I come out here and I do just like everybody else. I'll take my little jokes about V, but I don't disrespect him to the extent where I feel like he's not a credible athlete. He is. Does he make some mistakes? Yes. TBGW. It was so palpable between those two. They literally had to be in separate dressing rooms. Like,
I remember.
Because listen, as long as I've known Matt, if there's one thing about Matt that is legitimately true, besides the fact that he got a mouth on him, besides the fact that he's got an ego, Matt's mouth is what gets him in trouble a little bit. He likes to be very upfront and honest. And there's been times where he kind of, there's been times where he really got into V. He got into him a lot. And, when V kind of took it upon himself to throw his name into the faction war, he made the family, and he went after everybody and everyone, and he just let loose everything he felt.
Remember, it was Matt who drove V, to team in with Sahaya even.
Yeah. Because legitimately deep down, V has this mindset where if you're buried, the day you're buried is the day I have peace. That's how much he hates him. Because
that's how V feels. Because, can I go here? Yeah. Remember when Furo did the 9-second thing?
Yeah.
Oh, and that has haunted V for years.
Not only that, Jason.
Yeah.
That was even the worst part. The one which really because even though that pisses me off, the one which I know for a fact pisses me off.
Are you about?
I don't like mentioning it. But the time Furo held the cyberspace title. Oh, that's you can't mention it backstage in UCWL.
That was Faro at his absolute worst.
Because here's a spoiler.
And you know what the worst part?
That wasn't because here's a spoiler. That was a shoot finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like
we were supposed to retain that night.
Yeah, I remember that. Because I didn't hear it from either V or Faro. I heard it from somebody else that was there. That was, I could say, had an honest to God, truthful opinion about the whole thing. Yeah, it was the night where Faro decided to take matters in his own hands, and he did. And he kind of abused that. But yeah, to get at him.
And although I give feedback, shit over things done, in his company. Some other stuff which I've seen there.
Mm-hmm.
That was one night where Matt was really fucked up.
Matt's always been a very douchebag isn't even the right word to put. Because that would be a compliment. But when he wants to be just the worst of the worst, he can be.
A guy who seems to like the quote unquote pay tribute to Shawn Michaels. He kind of has a lot of his mannerisms.
Now, cue 3 years later when he finds God because no one else wants to talk to him.
I don't think God will ever find him. I'll say it because even though I'm close to it, because I'm working both companies, I think someone else who was close to it, just knowing Furo personally is my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Who we'll get into later in the spot because, the thing about Matt Furo, and this is something from my brother, it's a guy who likes to put up a bit of a facade.
A bit
of a false image.
A facade?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of people like that. What are you talking about?
I know there's a lot of people, but Furo is one of the worst.
I'm not saying anything. Mostly because I will expose some stuff that should not be exposed on this podcast.
I'm not going to get into it, but that's from my brother, and that's all I'm going to go further onto it. Next match, I think.
Okay, next match. We have Bryce Jordan taking on Marcus King.
Oh boy. Bryce Jordan got fucked up. I was
How?
say as possible. I'm just gonna say it.
Gnarly said it best.
He got fucked up.
You know what? I think this was also a statement from Marcus King to everyone, not just in the CCL locker room, but the DCA, Battle Pro, anywhere you see Marcus King. I mean, a lot of people have said after he lost, the Hard Gold title Marcus King kind of fell off the horse a bit. You know, he had more of a losing record than a winning record there for a while. I think this right here was a huge wake up to everyone that he's still Marcus fucking King.
The notorious Marcus King.
Said. Bryce Jordan got fucked up.
This was the don't disrespect my name. When, if we could be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
If you do,
And you know what that means, though. In the next round, Adam Jackpot versus Marcus King.
I'm saying this. I'm sorry.
Adam,
you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna get fucked.
Adam, I've been a guy who's I've always give people my utmost honesty. I've always been that person that says, "Hey, you got a chance. Good luck." That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck.
I'm fucking old.
Because trust me, I've known Marcus for years. We go back like a caterpillar and a cocoon. We go back that far. He's not in the mood. He is 100% not in the mood. He is in a level, in a zone I haven't seen him in a long time.
Again, this was, as I said, was a wake up call to everyone that Marcus King is still who he is.
I'm gonna say this. You think what Bryce Jordan got was bad? This match Marcus doing that.
Look. It won't surprise me if as soon as that bell rings, Black Fist, Adam's down. That's a strong possibility. It might be.
That could happen.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, fair point.
But now time for our next matchup. James Needham taking on Sly Cooper.
Oh boy.
A match I expected it to. It was what I thought it was.
What do you mean by that?
I expected it to be a high octane match, and it was. It was what I thought it was.
It was.
High octane.
No doubt about it.
Two guys really, finding their own, getting their groove on, everything like that. Here, really getting their, feet into, the VWU, really establishing themselves now. Sly, who is, he's made it a go that he will be VWU World Champion, and right now he'll be the ace of all VWU, but right now he's the ace of the Breakthrough Division, and him and James Needham had a phenomenal match, but in the end, after a ball breaker and a spiral landing, Sly Cooper goes into the next round. Hit. Do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah. I think what stood out about this match right near the end of this match.
Mm-hmm.
This came down to who landed first. Who landed the moves first? The signature moves first. In the end, it was Sly. Thing was, before this match, what we talked about was both men's mindsets.
Oh yeah, both men their minds were clouded going into this match.
I still think after the match, both men's minds are still cloudy. Because near the end, you had multiple mistakes. From both men. Something you want to have seen, if the minds weren't cloudy.
If this was
just a few months ago, sometime like November or early December,
it'd be a different story.
It'd been a lot cleaner, and even a better match.
It'll be just having two people focus.
Makes you wonder what would happen if we see this again.
Yeah.
Be a lot different. Be a lot different outcome, and a lot different way it'd be a lot quicker, and it'd be a different outcome possibly.
But I think the main thing for both men though, before these two look, I know you're salivating over there. Before before these two ever face off against each other, they both need to get all that weight off their back first and get their heads cleared.
Yes.
I'm gonna say something because I think Killer's been poking me, and he's kind of giving me this look like you should tell them how and why Sly won the match. Both men's, and this will be a, and you can use this to transition to the next one because we all know what that one is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, when it comes to Sly and it comes to Needham, both men's minds were clouded. They were on something else. What got Sly to win was this. No offense to Needham. Needham has never had to deal with something as mentally damaging. He never had to deal with that. Sly has dealt with it. Sly has dealt with mental damage. Sly has dealt with things, not just outside of his own life, but also in the ring too. He's dealt with catastrophic casualties after catastrophic casualties after mental destruction after mental destruction. James Needham, he can put up a good front, but you know he has never dealt with it, and it's getting to him.
Yeah, I mean, look at Sly. I mean, if you really want to think back to it, Sly has dealt with this his entire life. The man was orphaned at the age of 6.
Yeah.
He watched his mother and father get murdered in front of his eyes.
All right.
Like I said, outside of the ring and inside of the ring, Sly has dealt with tragedy. Needham has been in the game for how long exactly?
Brother now is approaching
same
close to 2 years.
Same
2 years
as somebody else.
2 years. But here's the 2 years. So he deep down he's still learning. And we transition into the next one.
Oh yeah.
It's not just the.
You got it.
Listen. Before we transition, it's not those. It's not just what Malik just said. It's the fact I can tell it's affecting me. But like, he's been, I mean, look at it. Things he's been tweeting, cryptic, doing stuff which is out of his character. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
His mind is not in a good place, and I've seen my brother when his mind is in a good place.
Indeed.
Scary.
Wow.
Reminds me of the past. Now we can transition.
Yeah, we go from that to...
And we get to the person versus Charles Schultz. And,
boy.
even before I got to the table, I can hear Hitkid yelling it. I think everybody from Gorilla could hear him yell it. I don't care what happens in this match. I don't care who beats who up.
Yeah, I said that, and I'll openly say I said that.
So,
oh, you say that.
Besides the fact that you had Brett Haskins come out and wearing my title, which is cheeky, very cheeky of him to do that.
Which is still bullshit, but
yeah.
Then
that should be dealt with. That'll be dealt with at another date, at another time. But I think the biggest thing following this match that I don't think a lot of people paid attention to, for one brief moment, I saw an emotion out of Charles Schultz.
The old Jason.
It was almost like that Charles Schultz that we saw pre
a year ago.
Yeah,
more than that.
Pre the event. It was almost like the Hellhound was gone and the Dark Horse had returned for a brief second.
Yeah.
That's still.
It was like lifting a weight.
It's like
emotions. The man who, I mean, it's
the way he was in the match.
It's safe to say the man who's been suicidal. If you really want to be honest.
For one moment, he came out and it was shocking.
And Haskins, well, he left in a bloody mess as a result of that.
Haskins went through because, well, Monahan gave him the count of 5. He did not respond, and Haskins went through.
I think I said
And Schultz
this.
used the steel chair to murder him.
I'm going to say this. I think he doesn't even care about March Madness at that moment.
No, he didn't.
All he cared about is just pretty much killing Haskins. I'm just going to say it up front. Like it is.
Brett has had years of learning how to get under people's skin.
I mean, you probably know him better than a lot of people.
I think most of us probably in here.
I do. I know Brett. I've known Brett since I was 18. I still remember him as the little 16-year-old kid, wet behind the ears, bright-eyed, and broke into the business while I was 18 doing commentary. So yeah, I know him. And when I say he has grown in the years of learning how to get heat, get under people's skin, he has. Though, and minus the fact that I did break him over the head with a steel chair.
Mm-hmm.
And wait, what's that, Killer? Oh, you want me to tell him? Okay. And also, I think, Killer wants me to tell him that Jeremy and Brett also do each other.
Yeah, I think at one point, I remember looking it up. I think back in the day, they were a tag team in a small Tennessee area.
Yeah, around Tennessee, Kentucky area.
I think they went underneath the tag team name of Pretty Damn Good.
It was funniest thing. Most interesting thing, yeah. But the biggest highlight of this match, besides the fact that Charles kind of went psycho, there's talk that Brett might not even be medically cleared.
Yeah. There's it hasn't been confirmed or denied yet, but there's a strong possibility that Brett might be out of it, and there might be a replacement.
I mean,
after the way he was. Yeah. How the hell could we
So the question is,
who's gonna take his spot?
That's the problem.
I mean, for all you guys know, it could be me. I could probably take his spot.
That means we could see Sly Malik 2 1-on-1.
Or Killer. You know, anybody.
Well, we probably. No, that too.
No, you go. You throw your hat in the ring.
Can I be honest though? And this is my truth. I do still think Sly would want it to be Brett.
Yeah.
I think everybody wants it to be Brett. I think me, Claudio, and Sly want it to be Brett.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get Brett at my own time. Claudio and Sly have to fight for us. Has to fight for an opportunity to even take him, because ever since Brett won that VWU title, he has been, how do I put it? On the low on the radar.
I mean, it's like he's trying to avoid people now, instead of being that up in your face and everything like that. Always want to be the center of attention.
Well, that's because he knows he's got
he's got.
Well, it ain't just me. Well, here's the thing. It ain't just me he's got to deal with. It ain't just Claudio. It ain't just Sly. I told you, Brett Haskins is the dude that can incite riots.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't got to just worry about me. He ain't got to worry about Sly. He ain't got to worry about Claudio. He does, but he also has to worry about the VWU board. He's gonna have to worry about literally everybody. It's literally Haskins versus the world.
I mean, from the stories you have told me before, I mean, I think it was a few years before he really broke onto the scene and everything. I think he was he was in a show in Florida. I remember you telling me this. He was a show in Florida. This is before Jimmy Snuka retired. Started to.
Oh yeah. He was. It was that show. It was 4 days after he got out of the hospital because of that. It was like I think a couple of months. It was like a month, not 4 days. It was a month after he got reconstructive surgery on his face.
Yeah.
And he was still kind of wearing a protective mask. And that was the night, that was the day where he broke out of his face gimmick that he had and he shot on the entire Florida crowd. And that's where he sat there and he gave his, I like to call it the Honor for Murderers promo.
Oof.
And he sat there in front of a Florida crowd and he sits there and he one of the lines he quoted was this: "You sit there and you cry about honor to me. To hell with your honor. Your honor is sickening. Your honor lets you raise murderers like Jimmy Snuka on a pedestal."
Oof.
That's all he had to say. That's all he had to say. The next thing you know, the front row tried to jump the railing after him.
He's not wrong.
You weren't wrong. That's actually something we can all agree on.
True.
I mean, we're not saying he isn't, but
Yeah.
that day, he literally got everybody in that arena wanting to kill him.
Yeah.
And he had to. He was supposed to have a match that night too. He had to leave Florida. He couldn't get near a building because there were guys waiting on him with shotguns and broken beer bottles. They wanted him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Brett's Brett is he's not a heat-seeking missile. He's a nuke.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
A nuke that has pushed the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I think it's but it'll either be Sly versus Brett or Sly versus someone else.
All right.
True.
All right. Before we get on to the women, we're going to talk about the second round for the men. We're not going to go into full detail.
Just quick predictions.
Just quick predictions. All right. Nathan House versus Aaron Alexander.
Nathan House.
Nathan House.
I'm going with
Aaron.
Nathan away. I'm going with Nathan all the fucking way.
Aaron. I had Aaron go
I'm
to
making
my
that
final.
mistake.
I've got to go Aaron.
All right. Okay. Matt Phoenix versus Mason Chronic. Chronic.
Chronic.
Chronic.
Sorry.
I
I'm
mean-
sorry, Matt Phoenix, but
I'm gonna pull
I
the
can't-
upset. I'm gonna pull the upset. And I'm gonna say Matt Phoenix.
Matt Phoenix. Okay.
Wigg's the only person that disagrees with us.
All right. Jamal Bentley versus Brandon Wolf.
Brandon.
I'm going with Brandon since I chose him to be the one to win it all.
I think.
I had Brandon in my new school bracket final, but no, I'm gonna be truthful. I'm actually gonna pull the upset. I'm gonna say Jamal. I'm gonna ruin my own bracket.
Jamal. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't come to me because I'm gonna be biased.
Okay. Chris James versus Casey Gordon. Casey Gordon.
Casey.
Chris James.
Chris James.
The other half of Big Money pulls the run to the finals this year.
If you would have told me if this was like 2000, if this was like 2 years ago, you'd be shocked that I say this. Casey.
All right. Jack Black versus Marcus King. Marcus.
Murder.
Unanimous decision, Marcus King.
Yeah, I think that's a quick sweep for that shit.
And the finals, Sly Cooper versus either Brett Haskins or a player to be determined?
I'll say this: if Brett actually walks to that ring, and he's still willing to fight, he's still willing to work the match. Congratulations, you're ballsy SOB. But I don't think he's gonna. But I don't think he's gonna make it. So it's gonna be somebody else, and whoever it is, it won't matter. Sly goes through.
Right. I'm making Sly here.
I'm gonna break up my bracket again right now. Yes, I'm doing this kind of a lot here on this one. Brett doesn't make it, but the man who does make it, and I'm actually going to give a prediction right now on the man who's going to, replace Brett.
Yeah.
Hey, Killer, you ready to be in the finals of the March Madness?
Even Paisley was like, huh?
Yeah, you just got Paisley off
That's my
guard.
prediction.
I mean,
That's a fair prediction. That is a fair.
March Madness.
That's true. I don't think he was expecting that.
And I guess
He could be the one who gets the call.
All right.
I agree with Hitkid then. Screw it.
All right.
Don't face it.
Like I said, I gotta go with my boy.
Which is fair.
Brand loyalty.
Brand bias, and I am proud of it.
Oh, you do have to whisper
I
that.
will wear that scarlet letter with honor. Anyways, that is the men's side. Time for the women. So just like with the men, we're gonna start with the old school, work our way down to the breakthrough. First round match, we had Beth Phoenix taking on Black Widow. Both women going into this match, Black Widow with nothing but revenge on her mind, and of course Beth Phoenix thinking about the health of her husband, Adam Copeland, Edge.
And also, to be fair, we can all agree, taking an RKO 2 weeks before this tournament is not good for your health.
I mean, also the fact that she's probably still feeling the effects of getting her head nearly cracked like an egg during the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, so
that too. Yeah.
I wasn't fully surprised Widow pulled this out.
Anyway.
Yeah. So
I wasn't fully surprised that Widow pulled this out.
So yep, Black Widow goes on to the next round. Wonder Woman versus Calypso.
I went for the upset here, and I ate Crow.
You ate Crow.
I say I picked Wonder Woman because I don't think I want to.
You didn't want to piss off Eddie.
Yeah, I'm just trying to avoid that at all costs.
Look. You did it for a bitch reason, but I did it.
Wow.
I picked Wonder Woman just because it's Wonder Woman. I mean, Calypso, a real good athlete and everything, but it's Wonder Woman. She's been around the block so many times. She's an absolute legend. So I think it was a foregone conclusion.
Sure.
No disrespect in losing to Wonder Woman.
No disrespect. It's not the worst thing. She had a hell of a performance, but in the end, Wonder Woman goes to the next round. We had Joanna Dark taking on Christine Montoro.
That was a match that I was looking forward to.
Oh yeah.
Because, I mean, I love Christine.
Yeah.
I followed her career through her time in CCL. And it was exactly what I was hoping it to be.
I mean, yeah, it was a stellar match. It was a really stellar match. But in the end, we saw, Montero, going to the next round.
Yeah, I thought Joanna was going to pull the upset.
Mm-hmm.
But Christy proved why she's the face of CCL.
Mm-hmm.
And she once again proved why she's at the face of CCL, and that's what she did right there.
And now our next matchup. This was an absolute war with 8 seconds to spare, as Laura Croft took on the Russian Nightmare, Morgan Rayncroft.
Ooh, what a fight that was.
That right there could have collapsed the entire arena. How much of a war that was. The only thing we were missing was legit missiles. Which with we know who Morgan has been, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see rocket launchers pretty soon. But
I just
don't fucking say that. Dude.
I was on. Can I be clear? I was on record for this tournament matchup. I said whoever wins this tournament matchup is winning the whole women's side of the tournament.
Well.
And you made it perfectly clear that Morgan Rayncroft was winning this match.
After this,
yeah.
And I ate crow because I said that this was going to go the limit.
Yeah.
I think you were the only one.
I was 8 seconds off. 8 seconds off.
Oh, Morgan was like 8 seconds too late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't think you wanted to probably deal with both of them go after you, but
Look. Those two probably wouldn't have stopped anyways.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Freaking forever.
Morgan got it done.
But Morgan got done, and she goes on to the next round.
To meet Christy, that's going to be a hell of a match.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of hell of a match, we had Chun-Li take on Ki-Tae Young in our first matchup in the New School bracket.
Oh my god.
Whew, this was awesome.
Yeah.
Ki-Tae kept the hot streak, guys.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Chun-Li's Chun-Li. She's a hell of an athlete. She has the meanest kicks in the biz. But Ki-Tae Young, she's really. A lot of people were questioning, would she be able to bounce back after losing the breakthrough title? Not only has she bounced back, but she's on a whole new level.
She's gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not only that, in a sense, it's what's going to be interesting. One of the factors I put in was what would be Ki-Tae Young's mindset, considering she was headed into, Wildcats title challenge before this.
Yeah.
After this first round tournament match.
Yeah.
I wondered where her priorities were. Now, a question coming into the second round is going to be what's going to be, her mindset coming off that title match.
Yeah, I mean, she had that title almost in her grasp to, and we called it out. Her hand was underneath the rope, but the referee didn't catch it. And Ki-Tae Young ate the L that night.
Unfortunately, because we can all agree on this table.
But here's the thing. Here would be the thing, though. To really, judge Ki-Tae's character and everything like that. How will she be able to just, shake that off, bounce back, and just continue moving forward? Or will she allow that to eat her alive? Because let me tell you something. If she's going to allow it to eat her alive, she's going to have huge trouble come the 24th because we had Sakura taking on Amber Stevens.
Me and you, girl here, Jason.
Yeah,
we both proclaimed that there was no fucking way that these two would only go 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Me and Roman decided there's gonna be a winner.
But I think the fact that they only had 20 minutes just told them, hey, I'm gonna hit you even harder than last time.
And they did.
They beat the shit out of each other.
I'm the ones to throw this one.
And I have to give the devil a due.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't liked Amber Stevens' attitude the past couple of months. It's been more than open. But what I did like was when she caught Sakura, with that kick with like a minute and a half remaining on the clock. As soon as she caught her, she went on to finish her.
Yep.
Gave Sakura no time to recover and put her away. So for that, I credit Amber Stevens.
I think just like
I took her on that one.
I mean, just like within the men's, I was talking about how Casey Gordon and Marcus King, reminding the world who they are. Amber Stevens did that exact thing in this matchup, and now Kite Young has to take on that Amber Stevens the next round.
Rematch from Undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared for them both to be stiff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
They're gonna be.
It's gonna be.
It's gonna be
very.
crazy.
Look, it's gonna be so stiff that we can feel it. That's how hard hitting this match is gonna be that we're gonna feel it.
Fair point.
This match, I see that smile on Hitkid's face. As the Quake, Daisy Johnson took on
Snitch.
Maya Cortez.
Thank you, Maya. That is the general consensus around here.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you, Maya.
Yeah, thank you, Maya, and everything. But it also, and here's another thing: a lot of people were giving me crow, saying, "What if she doesn't show up? Oh, I don't think she's going to show up. She's not going to show up. She's not going to show up." I said she was going to show up because Maya, at the end of the day, is a professional. I know, and
I said she was going to show up.
Yeah, I know you were, but I know Gnarly was giving me that. I know Roman was giving me that via text message and everything like that. People were saying, "Oh, she's not going to show up," or "Her mind's too cloudy. Her mind's too cloudy." Yada yada. Yes, what's going on with OSOK? What's going on with the Cortez family? It's messing with the law of their minds. But when it comes to Maya, she seems to know how to turn. No, she knows when to separate life from business. She knows when to turn it on and turn it off. And in this matchup, she turned off what was going on, outside of the ring, just for that brief moment, to go in there and give Daisy an ass whooping. And Maya Cortez, current SRW World Champion, goes on to the next round.
It weren't just that though. It was about Maya being able. Maya not only was representing OSLK on this night, she represented the whole SRW roster.
That she did.
Think about this. This was a woman who tried to put SRW out of business. Could you have imagined if she had beat the world champion of SRW?
I know. She would have not shut the fuck up about it too.
No, she would.
It would have been a living hell.
And but yeah, Daisy the Quake Johnson choked here, and Maya Cortez goes on to the next round. This one, Laura Matsuda taking on Ovana. This was a good matchup here.
A very good matchup.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good match.
I mean, Ovana, you can say she's been more motivated than ever. Not just because she won Rumble Roses and everything like that now, but also the fact that she's really really trying to prove herself now. She's got her head in a good mindset now. She's looking to get on the road of her lifetime, and I think what's really motivating her is the fact there's a woman she's been wanting to fight really, really bad. And if she wins her next matchup and that woman wins her next matchup, those two are meeting each other on the 28th.
It's not only...
Oh,
go ahead.
That being Amber Stevens versus Ovana. If those two go on to the next round, are able to beat their next opponents.
I've been on record with Ovana. I've said 2020, Ovana will win a world title. this was a huge first step. You know, beating last year's winner on the women's side.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have O'Fallon coming out of this bracket.
Man, I even said O'Varner was going to win the whole thing.
So, I think she's got all the motivation in the world, and be prepared, Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared, Maya, because you are in for one hell of a fight.
And now that wraps up the new school. Now we're going on to the final 4 matches of this bracket, and we are into the breakthrough division as we saw Tori Valentine taking on Roxy Hayes, the two New Dawn graduates, facing off against each other here, and many can say we saw a bit of an upset.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I don't even remember half the match because I got a contact high and couldn't even.
And he would not be wrong, too.
I mean, of course. But I think a lot of people were counting Tori out because here's the thing: Tori, much younger of the two. We've seen her more in tag team action than we see her in singles competition, and of course, Roxy Hayes. I mean, last year she had 3 victories over Elizabeth Prisa. Or something like that. So a lot of people
3.
were looking at this matchup. They're like, okay, Tori, she's still trying to find her footing and everything, and Roxy, she's looking to get back on the road and everything. So a lot of people, including myself, were giving Roxy the win here, but Tori's surprised a lot of people. She was able to get in there and she was able to defeat a woman that she has admired for a while. She who's been like a big sister figure to her because, Roxy, much older, has been doing this a lot longer than she has. And she's really that mentor figure for a lot of the graduates from the New Dawn dojo and everything like that. So there's always been like this big sister little sister bond between the two. But in the end, little sister beat big sister.
Yeah.
And speaking of little and big, we had the Princess of Power Bombs, Beryl Bentham, taking on current women's breakthrough champion Julia Cortez.
Halfway, yeah, we said Princess of Power. Oh my god.
I mean, she proved why she has that moniker.
You wanna know what
I lost count.
You wanna know what to say about this?
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say about it is this. This is similar to the Needham Sly match.
Mm-hmm.
Because how do you put it? Both these men, both those men had their issues in the man. Both these women in this match had issues in their own head.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, I think it was the maturity of Annie what showcased in this match.
Julia.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Annie's next.
Yeah.
Sorry, getting matches mixed up. It's been a long week, okay, so I will apologise.
That's fine.
But the maturity of Julia Cortez, showed in this match. Because, and I think it was via that breakthrough title win which helped her. Because I think if Julia hadn't been breakthrough champion by this time already, I don't think she would have won this match.
I mean that title win, it's put a spark in her and everything. Because right now, because when she won that title, a lot of women and a lot of people backstage weren't too happy that Julia won because they thought she didn't earn it. The fact that she was a rookie, that was just her third singles match. I mean, a lot of people were like, "Whoa, she didn't deserve that," or "Why did she get that opportunity?" Like that, stuff like that. So Julia has been taking those type of criticisms towards her, and she's using that to fuel her to prove her critics wrong. And
she jumped the line.
She jumped the line. A lot of people weren't too happy about that, saying she wasn't ready or she wasn't deserving. And Julia is looking to prove everyone wrong. That hey, I might be this rookie, but don't count me out, and I'll show you why I should be, the women's breakthrough champion. And she's been doing that. I mean, this woman has a win, a singles win over Jerry fucking Sonata.
Yeah.
One of the most dominant women in virtual wrestling. A very dominant, a very dangerous woman indeed. And Julia Cortez has a win over Jerry Sonata. But we go from one Cortez to another as Annie Cortez took on Tracy Sparks. This was again Tracy Sparks, another New Dawn dojo graduate. So to say this was a high flying match is a bit of a understatement.
This is an aerial assault.
Yep, aerial assault. I mean, Annie was doing high flying. Tracy, I'm pretty sure she got high before the match, but she was high flying.
There's no pretty sure about it, dude.
But just like Julia, just like her daughter and everything like that, and just like a lot of Cortezes like that, like Maya and all of them, a lot of the Cortez women feel like they have a lot that they want to prove. They feel like they all got this spark of wanting to show the world what they can do. That they're just more than just pretty faces. That they're more than just Carmen's wives or daughter in Julia's case. That they can be their own. And Annie, just like Julia, just like Maya, go into this match with a very clouded mind. But in the end, Annie Cortez, just like she proved at Limitless, she is able to put that out of her head, and she fought like Carmen was watching the match, and she felt like she was watching that match.
Experience as well.
Mm-hmm.
The one difference these two women had was Annie has had a lot of big match experience in these past couple of months.
Yep.
Tracy hasn't, but Tracy will get to that level.
That she will.
She will.
And because of that experience, that was one where it was, a big difference maker right there.
That was.
Which Tracy made one mistake, and then a few seconds later, she got sweet spotted.
Yep.
And that was game, ladies and gentlemen, as the saying goes.
Game, set, match. And that goes on to... Now, this brings us to our final match in the women's March Madness bracket. As Vanessa Delphine took on Cassie Cage. Again, I chose Delphine to win this match. But... Cassie Cage got the victory here.
You went with experience of, this is one where you had a choice.
Yeah.
Experience over momentum. There may not be a hotter person in the breakthrough division right now than Cassie Cage.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's good. I mean, we could possibly see Cassie Cage taking on Julia Cortez pretty soon.
Yeah.
Delphine, she put in a lot of effort in this match. Cassie being Cassie Cage, showing why she's been on that roll.
Yeah, Cassie has gotten the crowd behind her with the hashtag. Hashtag get your jaws out. Jaws out for Cassie, ladies and gentlemen.
And
I digress.
Go on.
It.
Go on, you said you digress.
No. He said no. Nari was just saying that, but you said you sound like you had something you wanted to say.
Yeah, but like Vanessa's experience here, like it was a choice. Do you go with the experience edge, which Vanessa had going into this, or do you go with the person who was hot with momentum, and that was Cassie?
That is true.
And Cassie kept the roll going.
And in the end, she proves why she's on that row, and she comes up with the W.
Yeah.
And now, just like with the men, we're gonna do it with the women. We're gonna do this fast, and we will wrap up here. Okay. Black Widow versus Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. I think Widow's a bit distracted, and I also think someone's going to be bitter and unfortunately get involved.
Wonder Woman. Gnarly?
I guess I'm to be the one here that's gonna disagree.
Alright.
Black Widow.
Okay, Black Widow. Okay, we got Montoro taking on Morgan Raincroft.
Please,
Morgan, sorry.
I know
Sorry,
Christy's the face. I know Christy's the face of CCL,
but
and I love Chris. I love Christy. But when Morgan Raincroft feels like she is old, Lord have mercy on everyone's soul within that tournament. She's my entire pick to win the thing. Morgan.
I'm going with Morgan too.
Morgan.
That's so much clean sweep on this whole thing for that one.
Amber Stevens versus Kite Young.
Amber.
I'm going with Amber too.
Gold's close. And we need to remember it's going to be a 30-minute bet.
Mm-hmm.
It goes close to 30 minutes.
And then one of those matches where it's going to be to the end, to a nail biter.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going with Amber. Gnarly.
Kite.
All right.
Malik.
Kite's got a lot to learn. Amber.
Okay.
Again.
Maya versus Ovana. I am going with Ovana because I chose her to win the entire thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if Maya was able to pull off an upset.
Ovana, she's my finals pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick Maya mostly, and it's not because she threatened. It's not because she threatened to kill me.
Jump by you for saying that. You know what?
Look, Maya hates my guts. Maya don't like
If
me.
you probably picked again.
Yeah.
You know what?
Okay, Tori versus Julia. I'm going with
Tori.
I'm going with the Breakthrough champion.
I'm going to go with Julia.
Julia.
Bit too much experience for Tori. Malik?
Tori.
Okay, 2 for 2. And our final match, Annie Cortez taking on Cassie Cage.
Cassie.
I'm going with Annie. Okay. I'm wearing that bias like a scarlet pride.
Yeah, he's
Oh boy, it's like the first one that said that shit.
Guess what?
Yeah.
I would like the mother-daughter fight, but damn it, Cassie Cage is hot right now. Cassie.
All right.
Cassie.
You say heart streak. Just you should have ended with that before you.
Cassie, the doctor would like to see you now. I say Annie goes over.
All right. Well, I think that that wraps up everything here.
This is Smashmouth.
Yep. We got our next round looks to be stellar. We got a lot of good matches on the horizon. And March Madness still rolls on through. But anyways, this has been Smashmouth. Hopefully this one actually goes out. I've been down to Jason Brown.
It better.
Nari Charlie Anderson. Hitkid Worldwide, Malik Brown, and Jeremy Paisley, and we will see you all in the continuation of March Madness.